With the 21st pick, the Minnesota Twins select Kaelen Culpepper.
All my family back there, they all understand how hard I work.
Kaelen Culpepper, and I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Probably Francisco Lindor. I love how he's always smiling. I'm a smiley guy.
Yeah, I think there's way more in this young man than he even showed in college. It's a explosive athlete, but I think there's even more explosion there. There's power to all fields, but I think there's even more power to all fields. I feel like he's just beginning, Greg, to figure out the kind of player that he is. I think pro ball is going to be wonderful for him. I like him better at third base. It reminded me a little bit of Ke'Bryan Hayes with the Pittsburgh Pirates, body type, the way he moved and things like that. But I think he's more explosive than that. So he's got good hit ability. There's a lot of things to like about him, and there's a lot of things to dream on him with him yet, too.
Greg, I absolutely love this guy. He's somebody Baseball America called a physical freak. It doesn't get much better than that.
Kaelen Culpepper's gone from an unheralded Tennessee high schooler to potentially Kansas State's first ever first-round position player if he displays more power. He was the top hitter on the U.S. Collegiate National Team during the summer and is moving from third base to shortstop as a junior, which also could help his cause. Right-handed hitter, Culpepper has a disciplined approach that prioritizes making contact and using the entire field. He's well above average bat speed, enough strength to produce average power. He has a flat swing and rarely drives the ball in the air. He slugged just .318 with wood bats in the Cape Cod League last summer and may top out at 12 to 15 homers per season. Culpepper handled shortstop on the Cape and in fall practice better than scouts expected, but he probably lacks the lateral quickness to play there in the big leagues. He has at least plus arm strength and his potential Gold Glover at third base, though that position would demand more power production than shortstop. He's an average runner and an opportunistic base stealer.
Well, I can do everything. I can do everything on the field. You're going to get a dog out of me, and I'm just ready to go. I'm ready to start my journey.
Greg, with the 33rd pick of the 2024 MLB Draft, the Minnesota Twins select DeBarge, a shortstop, University of Louisiana Lafayette.
Hey, some of the best contact rates in the draft, winning player. He showed his power jumped enormously this year. I just don't have a lot of negative things to say about the kid. I think he actually profiles at shortstop. He's not big, but he's physically strong. He drives the ball gap to gap exceptionally well. I think he actually has a chance to stay at shortstop in this year's draft. And another kid, to me, has got a really, really high floor, maybe a limited ceiling, but another winning player.
I think there's some underrated ceiling here. I think the only real knock on him is he's not big. He's 5'9", 170, but it's a plus runner. It's a plus arm. I think he stays at short. He has good actions. He can hit. It's not going to be big impact power, but you might be getting a 270, 12 homer, good shortstop who can steal you some bases, and he always performs. I really like him.
The one thing both those guys do is there's elasticity and looseness to those swings. It's got to be something they're looking for with those two guys, because to me, it's pretty appealing at the plate for both of them.
Good draft class for them. Right? Minnesota Twins? Absolutely.
Shortstop at Louisiana Lafayette, DeBarge is a better prospect than recent Raging Cajun standouts of the position, 2015 third-rounder Blake Trahan, 2020 fifth-rounder Hayden Cantrell. He plays bigger than his 5'9", 170-pound frame and batted .371 as a sophomore. An elite contact hitter, DeBarge recognizes pitches extremely well and rarely chases out of the strike zone or swings and misses. His right-hand stroke is quick, compact, and flat, designed to make contact so easily that it does cut into his walk totals. He has some sneaky power to his pull side, but doesn't drive the ball in the air consistently and slugged just .297 with wood bats in the Cape Cod League last summer. DeBarge has the tools and instincts to impact games in a number of ways. He's plus speed and uses it aggressively on the bases. His quick hands, strong arm, and fine internal clock allow him to play solid shortstop, and he also looked good at the hot corner on the Cape.
It's pick the Minnesota Twins select Billy Amick, third baseman from the University of Tennessee. The Baltimore Orioles have the next pick.
Thank goodness. In my opinion, of course, I'm prejudiced. The steal, I thought, Jim and I were talking, you'd think he'd go earlier. One thing he did was play third base for the first time this year, and to kind of comp him to Tommy White a little bit. Last year was Tommy's first full year at college baseball playing third base, and it wasn't perfect, but it got better. And I think with reps and also his aptitude, it's going to get better at third base. But the reason you draft him is because he can hit. He swings a bunch, and it's because he wants to hit, and he's incredibly physical, drove the ball to all fields, and was a danger at all times to the opponent. Kind of compared him a little bit to Trevor Story with his swing.
I think there was an outside chance they were going to take him at 21 if their board blew up. I actually thought they were going to pick him at 33, and they get him here. So their draft has worked out very well for him. I mean, they would have been very happy to get him at 33.
No doubt. Awesome dude. If you're in the Twins org, you got a guy that'll be fun to go fishing with.
What do you think his draft party looks like right now?
Well, his dad, Lyndon Amick, was a NASCAR driver, among other things in his life. So whatever's going on, it's interesting.
Son of former NASCAR driver Lyndon Amick, Billy transferred from Clemson to Tennessee for his junior season and has become one of the more dangerous hitters in the Southeastern Conference. Amick has a quality right-hand swing and repeatedly barrels balls despite frequently chasing pitches out of the strike zone. His aggressive approach yields hard contact to all fields but does cut into his walk totals. His bat speed and strength create plus raw power that plays all over the ballpark and should translate into 20 to 25 homers per season. Amick has gotten the chance to man the hot corner for the Volunteers. It looks like he'll be able to stay there in pro ball. Equipped with below-average speed and quickness along with average arm strength, he's a fringy to average third baseman who's looked more comfortable as he's gained more experience. He does have the work ethic to continue to improve, but also may wind up at first base.
With the 69th pick of the 2024 MLB Draft, Minnesota Twins select Dasan Hill, left-handed pitcher from Grapevine High School, Grapevine, Texas. The Miami Marlins have the next pick.
Yeah, Hill was phenomenal to see last summer at the area code games when he was just kind of showing a glimpse of what he had in the tank. It was 92, 93 at the time. He took a huge step forward with his velocity this spring, was more sitting in that 92, 93, 94 mile per hour range. Power was also added to the slider. He's tremendously thin. You can see it here. It's a rail thin frame. I think for some scouts, it's really encouraging because you can see him gaining weight. I think there is a question of how much weight is he going to gain moving forward. There are some concerns that maybe it's like a Tristan McKenzie build and frame. It's been fine for Tristan McKenzie, and I also think Dasan has shown some pretty good command and control of those two pitches, developing curveball, developing changeup, but I like this pick quite a bit.